right. So welcome everybody. It is April 7th, 2025. I'm Jason Donaldson and I work as a healer and a galactic shaman. And I'm feeling blessed to be here with you all today as we embrace the shifts and changes and transformations that are happening and really the opportunity to feel all that's coming up with what's being revealed in the world, what's being revealed within us, and even old patterns and behaviors we thought were long gone who may have surfaced in this recent eclipse, the new moon solar eclipse and then Neptune moving into Aries. Personally, I felt a lot of things come up that I hadn't really even dealt with in a long time. I thought it was over and done with. So maybe that was true for you too. There was things that maybe emerged from your 20s or childhood that was like, wow, I thought I processed this. I thought I worked through it. And what I've come to see and believe is that in the human experience, a lot of what we're doing is overriding these experiences and patterns that have lasted for lifetimes, generations in our lineage, in parallel lives. So in any moment, we're living multiple lives coinciding with this one. And I like to believe that we have the opportunity to be the heroic probability. So the heroic probability is that point of focus that brings consciousness to all those lifetimes. And so the work that's been evolving more and more, may come through in this meditation today, is how in any now moment we come into our power, we come into our presence as we're feeling the emotion that comes up for us. There's still a place of presence and love in relation to that emotion. So it's kind of like if you have children and your child's upset and crying, you can feel their emotion, you feel the sadness, but you also feel the love you have for them and that they have for you. And that's how we overcome this whole illusion of being stuck in a dream or a matrix or a simulation or whatever you want to call it, as we bring that love and that presence and that what I call spirit to whatever we're feeling to help us navigate it. And as we do that, we're doing on a micro level internally what we're doing for every other lifetime. So in those moments, we can actually send that energy to those other versions of ourselves, whether in a linear fashion back to when we were 5 or 12, or to like another parallel reality where we're on like Orion getting ready to go to battle with, the other opposing force. And that's what's been coming up in the world a lot too, is these opportunities to work through these Orion timelines when there was a lot of fighting and disagreement, even though everyone's saying pretty much the same thing. Both sides are saying the same thing, but it's exactly like different information. And what I've come to learn and work to embody is, especially with 2020 and then more recently, is I have different beliefs and I have my preferences, but I ultimately know I don't know what's going to happen or what is best. I know that it's going to play out for the collective as it needs to, but I can love someone and have them totally disagree with me. I can respect someone even if I don't really understand what they're talking about. And I think that's what we're all learning, is to be that love in relation to others, and then ultimately really to be the love in relation to ourselves and the emotions that come up for us. So let me just tune in what else is coming through in this moment. And I want to acknowledge and thank everyone that's here on this live call and everybody that may be watching later. And a lot of my role, I'm realizing, is to talk about the new earth and to share how these emotions we're feeling are a part of the ascension process, where we're bringing it here instead of leaving. We're bringing our highest essence, our highest probability, our heroic probability here and embodying it. And that's why I like the pyramids. And I even got my pyramid shirt on that was gifted to me, because it represents basically to me that temple that in which we embody, which is our body, where we pull it all in and we notice what's inside the body as we're doing that, and we work with it, lovingly acknowledging it, and then it either dissolves or it pops out, and then we're able to shift and transform the whole of reality. So this is what brings the new earth in. This is what shifts timelines. This is what ultimately saves the world. And we all do that. We're all going to save the world, but it's our own individual world, and it starts inside. And this is why some people in the spiritual journey early on, they get messages that you're going to save the world, or you're going to have a child that's going to save the world. And it's really exciting, and it's true, but it's also not, because whenever we make it about the external, that's when we really lose that connection again, and we get caught up in the illusion. So I've been on this journey for a long time and I've gone through those phases myself. And even recently I was questioning like how high vibe I was, or if I was on the right timeline, or if there was something wrong with me, or even my vision wasn't as clear. Like psychically, I'm like, there's something wrong. And I remembered, oh yeah, breathe and just be with the feeling it's bringing up and be with those times where maybe that was true in a parallel life or when I was younger, and not make it about the story in my mind. And then it shifted, and then all of a sudden we come out of it. And so that's what, to me, the ascension is we let go of these constructs, ideas, beliefs that have held everything in place, and allows an expansion, because it's basically where all those thoughts and beliefs and judgments, and even if we had the experience and we know what it is and we worked with a therapist with it, it's still a blinder. And when we can just breathe and feel what it is, even not knowing what it is, that label this, if it's sadness or anger, just like I feel something, and it expands everything, and then something new is offered. And that's how you leave this dream if you want to do that. I've actually had that happen where I was talking to a woman in Hawaii. Maybe you guys know her. Her name's Hope Johnson. And she's really embodied a lot of the Course in Miracles information, which to me is like speaking from pure consciousness. And it irritates the hell out of ego. And it irritates the hell out of those of us that are like, well, I like this. And what do you mean that didn't happen? And what do you mean I made it up? Because there's truth to it. And then it also did happen too. It's like when someone's saying your dream wasn't real, there's truth to it, but then there was the experience. But at one point I was listening to her talk and I was working with, okay, just surrender, just listen. And I asked these really difficult questions that nobody's ever been able to answer. And she was. And at one point I shot like out of this whole reality, and not into a void space like I'd done before, but this was into like the oneness, the enlightened field of everything. And I felt that in meditation, but this was even higher. It's like I was leaving, and part of me is like, oh no. And I came right back, because there was a part of me, like the ego, the anchor that keeps us here, that still wanted to be on this journey, to still be here. But at any moment we can like shoot out of here. It's just stuff that's holding us here. And maybe that was my opportunity to leave, but I was like, I still want to be here. I'm having fun. It's like the Matrix. And I've talked about this before, the second Matrix series. He's able to fly, he could fight better. He's not even using weapons anymore. He's just using his hands. And then the third one, he's not even using his hands anymore. He's using this like consciousness, his pure consciousness, to work with reality, because he worked with it inside. And so those movies are a great reflection of what I feel like we're all doing. And I see. I'm just going to tune in what else wants to come through. And so what I did feel again with the pyramid was the concept of the temple and the container building. So my background is working with groups, and whether that's in a school or with men and women, shadow groups, therapeutic groups, ceremonies where I do breath and energy ceremonies. And when we come into a circle, when we come into a group, there's those of us that, all of us feel it, but some of us are a little more sensitive to it. And I do like to do these when I do my lectures too, is the opportunity for all of us to stand in the circle and see each other. And there's people in the world that will not do that. They will not want to come sit in a circle, because you start to feel and see and experience the reflection that every being is in there. And so as New Earth leaders, I feel it's important to share that a lot of what you're feeling in relation to others in the world is that reflection. And how we work with that container building is first inside. And many of you know this, but I want to share it right now for those that aren't, or just, it's always a great opportunity, because I feel it right now, where I would invite everyone just to close your eyes and just notice what you feel, like the sensations in the body. Notice whatever thoughts are being offered. And for me, the connection to spirit is the breath. Like that's the gateway that takes us to the infinite oneness. That's the portal to the heart, and the ability to feel what's always ever present and ever flowing through us. So find your breath in this moment. And we're just going to go right into the meditation. I'm feeling this would be a good segue into it. But as we do that, like I notice there's like a shakiness in me. And as someone that was diagnosed with social anxiety and took pills for that when I was younger and really identified with that as a reality, in this moment, I'd be like, oh, that's my anxiety and what's wrong with me? And then it's like, no, just breathe, then release with ha. And it kind of smooths it out. It releases, it relaxes it, it lets it go. And then if I choose the breath again, the focus on the breath rather than that story, even though it happened, it's not true anymore. It no longer exists. And so I choose in this now moment that breath. And I invite you to do the same, no matter what's going on, whatever you feel in your body, no matter what you hear around you. There is this breath that's coming in and filling you. And how this breath, when we exhale and use that ha sound, it helps kind of smooth it out, it helps activate the throat chakra, it helps release those of us that haven't been able to speak, we're shut down, we're told we were wrong. And what's also crucial is that you feel your feet. You always want to stay rooted and grounded. We don't want to actually leave our bodies. You want to bilocate, that's different, but like leaving the physical form isn't always a good idea. A lot of people want to astral project, but you can do that while staying in the body. And for me, we do that with the breath, always staying connected with the breath. Letting go with ha. And then in this moment, you can kind of feel also the others on this call. You can feel an energy, a presence. And maybe you feel this with the neighbors next door, wherever you are in the world. And whatever you feel, just notice that and then choose the breath again. You come back to that breath and you just let go. Maybe a thought pops in your mind, something you saw and like a reel or something on the news you caught a glimpse of walking by a TV, and how that creates a reaction. And then again, choosing the breath and noticing what the body does. And that's how we container build, is we become aware of the physical form, because the physical body will always give us feedback of what we're holding mentally and energetically. And having experienced the void, the creational field in which we are in, it was shown to me that all thought creates everything we see, even the feeling. Originally, we are just love, peace, and joy. And then in the void, we get to play with creation. We get to play with navigating what's seemingly created by others. We get to experience the ego, and we get to experience our free will to seemingly do as we please. And what's happened is a lot of us have forgotten that the thought is creating the emotion. The emotion is creating the sensation and the disease. So in any moment, we can come back to noticing that sensation, breathing around it lovingly with that breath, being curious what emotion comes up. And as we do that, as we let go of what we think it is or what we're told it is, and just continue to choose that breath, feeling the feet, it's like a flow of energy starts to move down. It's like a Tai Chi or Qigong master is taking that energy, just allowing it to flow. Sometimes it moves in the body somewhere, and we're not chasing it, trying to expel it, but we're just lovingly acknowledging it. And to help with this, we can help relax the jaw. Notice if your jaw feels tight right now. Just bring your consciousness to that space using the breath. And that to release and let go. Sometimes if you want to do a little movement, and this is something that's really great to do in the morning, is actually standing, using the breath to expand and stretch, and then let it go, let it flow. You can even visualize in your mind's eye this movement, this flowing of energy. It's always moving through you. This breath that's coming in, feeling this as the essence, the purity of spirit, of God, of oneness, that each breath fills your temple, and each exhale allows the flow and the release and the loving acknowledgement of whatever's there. Relaxing the eyes, the eyebrows, hair, and even release the hair tension. If the mind wanders, just come back to the breath, always that anchor in this now moment. And then drawing your attention down to the heart. The breath will always guide us to the heart. Notice what's there. If you want to gently touch your heart, touch your chest, feel what's there. If there's anything that's been trying to get your attention, and then watch how the mind will start to label it. Just notice that, and then come back to the breath and come back to the sensation of your hand on the heart, on your body, how it's like just lovingly acknowledging whatever's there. Good, bad, otherwise, just be this presence, be this awareness, this witness to what is. And use that breath to just hold whatever's there in love and neutrality while still feeling that sensation. And often this will be like a childlike part of ourselves. It won't understand language. And maybe they're not okay. Maybe in this parallel reality on some other planet, or even earlier in our life, there was a time where we were not safe, and to say you're okay would be confusing. So what we want to do is we just want to feel that, and you feel the energy that brings up, like, oh my God, what? And then breathe, be the presence, be the breath, be the spirit in this moment, feeling that inhale in through the nose. And let go with ha, ha. There's often a tendency for the shoulders to get tight, the stomach to want to curl up when we feel emotion, when we feel fear. And the invitation now is to use that breath to expand, not forcing, but allow the expansion, allow the empowerment of, wait a minute, I am what I am. I can be the presence for this part that needs me in this moment. And maybe you're being shown that. And just be the witness of that as you breathe, knowing you are sending energy to that being, to that aspect of self, to that timeline. With each breath, you are bringing the God force, the love, the light, the patience, and the presence as a field energetically. And this would be felt in this lifetime as well when other versions of yourself have done this, where you felt times of despair, challenge, and all of a sudden something shifted, something changed that you felt, you knew, you received the guidance, like, wait a minute, that's not true anymore. Wait a minute, I can do something different. Wait a minute, I can leave this. It doesn't need to figure any of that out. We're just breathing, just allowing in through the nose, out through the mouth with ha. Feeling the feet. Breath comes in, filling the belly, up into the chest, shoulders relaxed. Then just ha, let it go. Noticing any sensations as the breath comes in and expands. Then releasing out through the mouth again. Feeling your feet. And we're going to call in your guides, your guardians, your ancestors to be here with you now, even more fully present, to assist you in this shift and this transformation with multiple aspects of self. As the one awareness, the one field of energy of God and unity, with each breath embodying this energy. Notice a part that may be rejecting this or maybe fighting it or struggling a little. And that's okay. You can even acknowledge that part with the breath, with the expansion, letting whatever's being offered to be heard, and then just breathe. No need to engage. No need to try to convince it. We're just surrendering to what is in this now moment. Noticing even that part has value and strength and power and has protected us and kept us safe. But now, in this moment, we're choosing the breath and we're choosing spirit and we're choosing to trust that we can live in a perfect world. A world where people love each other and see each other. A world where we don't have to be the smartest or the strongest or to be right. A world where we can just breathe and take pauses in any moment. Excuse me, I just need a moment to just breathe, to be that container, to be that temple, to be that strength in any environment that way shows what a healthy human does. One who remembers their spirit and their connection to the oneness. One who shatters the illusion for others. Some get angry about this, some rejoice in this, and some don't even notice. And that is not our path. Ours is simply to enjoy our life, to have fun, to shine, and the rest we will do naturally as an expression of that. And people will come versions of ourselves, curious, wanting to know more. And some will try to pull us back to where we were before. And then we remember to breathe. And there's nobody who needs rescuing, that everyone is perfect right where they are. Maybe your mind goes to someone in this instant that you really care about and you're concerned about. And holding them in your awareness, just take that deep breath and let go with the ha, knowing they are already healed, whole, and complete and connected with spirit always. And they are playing a game. And it's okay that as you choose your passion and your purpose and what lights you up, you're offering the same to them. Nothing even needs to be said. This is a field of energy. And this is the same thing we do internally. We feel those parts that get upset about something we see or witness in the world, something we remember from the past, or something we think may happen in the future. All of it is the opportunity to do what we're doing in this now moment, to simply breathe, notice, and choose the light and love that you are with each breath. We'll end this meditation with something that was taught to me a long time ago by a woman who teaches star seeds, how to command our space with the phrases, I am God, I am sovereign, and I am free. I am God, I am sovereign, and I am free. I am God, I am sovereign, and I am free. We are the infinite one, the love, the peace, the unity, and we get to be human and go on this journey. It's a choice to move towards the light, to see what's being revealed. And as the light reveals, there's an opportunity to love, because light is not love, but light does show the truth and the way. And when we can witness that, when we can be in that field and accept in neutrality, eventually we can love and accept it as it is. And we always love ourselves enough to never get caught up in that illusion again, to never put ourselves in situations we know deep inside are not resonant for us. It would be harmful to the physical form or our emotional body. Always there is discernment. So loving from the proper distance. And come back to the awareness once again of the breath, how it expands the body, and how we can release and let go, feeling the feet, feeling the toes, coming back, using the breath to reanimate the body if it's been still. And to come back, I'll model this too. Each breath, I'm filling every muscle, every pore, every bone in my body. Each breath, I stretch and expand while always feeling my feet rooted and grounded. And I often rub my eyes because there's tears there or there's been a release, to help me come back to this now moment. And then rubbing the hands on the body to soothe and come back grounded and present in this now moment, in this form, in this temple that we reside in. And then notice what your body wants in this moment. Any movement, any massage. And notice you may feel a little floaty and disoriented, and this is good. This is what we want, because as the mind slows down, we start to flow and dance and move, and it can feel a little disorienting. But again, like the Tai Chi master, you're rooted and grounded, and you're able to sway and move like a tree. And this is what a 4D reality is going to be like more and more, is in any moment, we're going to have to know how to pivot and move. And this is the divine feminine coming in so strong, is we got to feel, and we got to adapt, and we got to listen to what those messages are. Whereas before we're like, I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. I got the plan. I got a 5-year plan. This is what I'm doing. I'm sticking with it. And it's like banging our head against the wall. And it worked in the old paradigm, but it's not going to work now. And the people that are trying that, they're going to go on a different timeline. And I don't know what that's going to be like, but I'm choosing to continue to listen to what saved me. And that's the feminine within me. And then using the masculine to bring it out in the world in a way that can be heard without being forced. And I'm still working on that, and without being teachy and preachy. So welcome back, everybody, as you come back into this awareness of wherever you are in your space. I always invite people to just look around and notice what's there. Thank you, Jacqueline. Glad this helped center you for the day. And I'm excited to be coming back to Hawaii tomorrow. Let's see what else wants to come through as a result of that. I saw people, like I said, and when we're in a circle, when we're in a container, we start to feel and get thoughts and images, and this can be our own, or this could be from coming seemingly from someone else, but really it's all our energy and our dance. And so I saw some people working with some childhood trauma in this group, which is beautiful. You did great with that. I felt that come up. I felt the body response of it. And then working with the breath and then just making it okay, so that part of you that's still scared and frightened felt safe. And as you do this more and more, they're going to start showing up more and more. And it may be confusing because you're like, why is this getting worse? And what's happening is that kid is kind of like, oh, you mean I can come out now? It's safe. And they're still going to be a little scared. But as you continue to just be this patient, loving, presence for them, you're going to discover more and more that your joy comes online. They're going to feel safe. They're going to start expressing things that you're like, oh yeah, I always wanted to do that. How come I don't do that now? I can do it now. I'm free to explore these things. Or you start to manifest more easily, because this is what this is. This is what the ascension is. It's moving us to a higher level with each parts of ourself that come out. They feel safe. It's like, I'm on earth. I want to get the hell out of here. And then they're coming out, they're like, oh, Earth's not so bad. Actually, it's really great here. I love this place. And that's the goal. And when as I was doing this work, initially, when I realized that was the simplicity of it, and it felt like I had all these little kids around me, all these little childhood versions of me. Like, I don't know if you ever seen the teachers walking down the street and they got all the like little ducklings with them. And sometimes they're even on like, they're holding a rope to go along. That's what it was kind of like. And we were out in the world and some of them were excited and others were still like super close and tight to me. But more and more, it's like they're evolving too. And I'm feeling that expression. And then more people come into my reality that represent those parts. It's the weirdest thing. Like at some point, it just grows and expands. And I can't say much more because you'll experience it yourself. But uh, don't feel confused if it feels like there's more emotion coming up, because that's actually like that childlike part that's like, oh, I feel safe with you. I want to be around you more. And kind of like a dog that's been abused or something, they're always a little sketchy and a little reactive, but don't take that on as you. And then, we don't get caught up in it, kind of thing. So I felt that was important to share. Yeah, I love the Rider-Waite Smith deck. So I'm going to pull a couple tarot cards and see what comes through for this month. It is the month of April 2025. And, like I said, Neptune just went into Aries, and I love Aries energy. I love fire. It's part of my lineage being Celtic, and family's definitely got a lot of passion. And my niece is like a little dragon girl, always talking about dragons and saying she is a dragon. And so this fire is what it destroys, but it also liberates it, because wood and things that catch on fire, it's all this potential energy. And then when it's released, it creates these flames. So that's what we're experiencing for the shift and transformation. And Amanda says it's her birthday month. So happy birthday, Amanda. I'm so glad you made it here today. This fire is like the liberator, the transmuter of whatever's coming up in our lives to be felt. And that's where the emotion and the water comes in. The water soothes that fire and keeps it from scorching the earth of the body, basically, by remembering to just breathe and be like, okay, it's what it is, rather than it's okay. I used to say that it's okay, and it wasn't getting better. It was like, oh, there's parts that aren't okay. And I'm gaslighting them, basically. So everybody's favorite term when we're our own narcissist. And it's done in innocence, really. Like nobody really told or taught us this. All right, so let's see what 3 cards come out. Cool. I like that. I like when it's easy. Sometimes it's a little challenge to read it, but I got the Ace of Pentacles reversed, the Two of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. And so what this represents to me is right now there's a lot being offered to us in the physical realm, information, ideas, concepts, even the revealing about the pyramids and what they were used for. It's like a lot's coming at us really quickly, and it's all an illusion. Like it's all based on what we want to choose to believe that makes it a reality. So there's people that will ultimately reject that this scan of the pyramids and what they revealed underneath it. For those that don't know, they showed these larger structures underneath. And for people that are like, oh, that's all BS, that scanning technology could be flawed, they'll probably be on a timeline where it's revealed that it was flawed and that there's nothing there. And those of us that are like, oh, wow, that's cool. I don't know what that means. We'll see what happens. It'll be revealed probably that it's true. And then we go on this timeline where more and more is revealed because we're open to see the movie. It's like you don't see the movie if you don't walk through the door. So if we're not open to any kind of exploration and we just shut it down immediately, these are like the blinders I was talking about. And this is how reality works. Even when we die, if we're so rigid in our belief that we're going to go to purgatory or to hell or to whatever, we will actually go there for a period of time, but there'll be a being that will meet us. And if we're open enough when we first meet them, it won't even be much of an experience, but others will stay there for a period of time because we get like this fixation. And even with ghosts, in my opinion, that's how that happens, is they were so focused on the material and what they did every day. They're very regimented that there's a part of them like a kind of like how you walk a path and it's kind of etched you can see where people walked before. They did the same thing over and over. So there's like a residual of that. But when we're open and expansive and willing to see what's different, to be curious, like Jesus said, things transform and change, and then a whole new world presents itself. Because the Two of Wands is basically when we have this foundation, when we have all this opportunity, this potential, like the world is in our hands, and the whole world is our playground. Like, what is it I want to do? What is it I want to create? And to me, this is a great card for like the new earth. Is like there's infinite potential here. I can do whatever I want, and I have the ability to do it. We may not know how or what that's going to look like, but it's a realization and understanding like, wow, things are different, and I can do things. I have opportunity. And with the King of Pentacles afterwards, that's a really great indication that whatever you really truly desire and what you're moving towards will manifest. It may not look the way you expect it to. In fact, what's shown up in my life very often was like I had no clue, and I almost missed this opportunity because I wanted it to be a different way, or I was shut down, or I didn't want to embrace it because it was scary. Because when we get what we want, when we are this being, what an asshole, right? Look at how much abundance he has. How dare he when people are suffering and starving to death? And the truth is like this is the gift we give humanity when we allow ourselves to receive and we are appreciative of it, and we don't let people like tear us down as a result. Then we have the opportunity to share that field of energy and inspire others. And there'll always be people that want to try to like diminish it, because what this is if you step into this and you get exactly what you want, there's a part of you that's going to freak out, and it's going to manifest that external person to get you to feel it. So you were already feeling it. And if you work with that guilt or with that shame and just breathe with it and be with it and be curious, that's the part that's going to peak out and be like the one that wants to destroy the world, and then working with that. And so we even have reflections of that in the world of people that want to destroy and hurt. And so that's my best advice, or what I've experienced in my life is, and this is even a quote somewhere about how we're more afraid of our light than we are our dark, because that's what this represents. It's going to shine a light on those parts that we haven't fully embraced or felt. And the tool is the breath, to be that presence even with that part, and not try to make it wrong or bad, or that there's something wrong with us to even feel this way. Even if you're feeling like you're better than everyone, like, oh wow, I'm so much better than that person now, look at all the stuff I have. And just breathe and notice that from presence, and not make it like, oh, what a horrible person for me to think that. And because what happened, it was just a thought being offered. That's what happened when I was a kid, is I'd have these thoughts in my head, and I'd catch it. I had the awareness. I was like, oh God, that's horrible. And what it was is just my sensitivity, and I was feeling it from other lifetimes or from the neighbor next door. I don't know. And that doesn't even matter. We get caught up in that detail sometimes. So, and I want to pull, I got these really cool cards in Sedona. It's the, let's check these out. It's the Spirit Cards Oracle deck. Just beautiful, like they're gold. They have like this gold on them, and they just move like butter. It's amazing. So it was my indulgence. They were expensive too, but I had to have them. Let's see which one of these cards come forward for us for the collective. So basically, what the Rider-Waite-Smith deck for cards were saying is to be mindful of what you're entertaining as truth. What you focus on is what you create. It's the path line, the timeline you go on. So know that you have a choice in the new earth, and as it shows up, be willing to feel what that brings up as you get what you want, or as things manifest that maybe aren't what you want and they make you feel uncomfortable. Play with that and see what's revealed, kind of thing. Having me pull the one from the bottom. Yay, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier, the goddess rising. So that was like, that's even the one on the cover too, where I was talking about this feminine energy, the divine feminine that guides us and really how spirit communicates with us is through the feminine, and we all have the inner masculine and feminine, and it's that ability to pivot and adapt, and that's going to be so crucial in a fourth dimensional reality. And as we move in and we navigate all these different timelines, it's like what am I feeling right now? What is my guidance showing me? And then also still relying on a certain level of our masculine too, to be like, well, wait a minute, maybe not now, but I can, transition my job to this other job. Yeah, but listen to the guidance of spirit, be like, okay, maybe I'll give it 6 months, but I'm going to start doing this other thing. So we don't want to like be like, I'm in the fourth D reality already, I can let all this go, because it might be a gradual thing. So we don't want to, be like super ungrounded or unbalanced. So it's always a balance. It's always a dance to navigate this, because I went through that too, where I was like, oh, 2012's here, I'm moving to Hawaii, and all of a sudden all these systems are gonna fall and fail, and it's like, it's like 12 years later, 13 years later, and they're still going. And I was so upset, because that was my rescue. And then it became, oh, it's an inside thing. I have to do the work. I have to face the fear and go out in the world and talk to people like I'm doing now. I would have never done this in 2012. So I'm grateful for you all being here. Have an amazing April. And remember, no matter what happens, just breathe, feel your heart and know that it's for you and not a punishment. And what I wanted to just share, there's nothing wrong with you. Like, sometimes we feel darkest before the dawn. Sometimes it feels like we're more disconnected just before we're about to spring and expand out. So watch the thoughts that are coming in and the judgments. Just choose the breath and get out in nature as much as you can, and things will start to shift. So I'm going to stop the recording here. For those that don't know, you can find me at jasondonaldsonhealer.com, and I offer tarot card readings, online breathwork ceremonies, Galactic heritage card readings, and mentoring that I do for over 3 months called Spirit Guidance Mentoring, to help you really connect to this essence and energy that you are, and be able to navigate the human experience more easily. So thank you all. And I'm going to end it. I'll see you all next month. And for everyone on the call, please don't leave. All right. Aloha. Thank you, everyone.